you can watch as many productivity and self-help videos as you want. But until you decide to make an actual change and let go of the 5 things that I'm about to reveal in this video, you will continue to find yourself shackled to the same bad habits and mistakes that keep putting you right back in the same position of being poor. So if you are serious about breaking free of everything that's holding you back, and I only mean if you're serious, then let's take a look at the 5 things that are holding you back from seeing your first million in your bank account. So the first thing that you need to give up if you want to be rich is any lack of confidence that you might have. Lack of confidence is the first thing that's going to hold you back from any aspirations or goals that you have. It's honestly what will be on your shoulder telling you that you're not good enough to apply for that job, or that you shouldn't open that business. And that lack of confidence is what's gonna keep you in that same position year after year because you're too frozen in fear to try anything new. And no, I'm not saying go out there and be cocky about what you do and who you are. I'm just saying that the voice talking to you, saying that you can't do something for one reason or another, cannot continue to win in your decision-making process. Because life goes a little something like this, and I hope it gives you a bit of a wake-up call. That same job that you were scared to apply for, someone else with the same exact credentials as you, with just more confidence, will go out and get it. And just like that, you've taken yourself out of the running and shackled yourself into the same position that you've always been. So how do you break out of this lack of confidence? You give yourself something new to try each and every single day. Small things that you wouldn't usually attempt, or maybe even feel outside of your comfort zone of doing. The more and more that you practice doing this and actually accomplish these tasks or challenges, the more you'll trust yourself and build confidence where you may have lacked it previously. And through building this confidence, you'll be opening doors for yourself that you might have strayed away from in the past. And opening new doors and the confidence to take on new opportunities is guaranteed to grow your pockets. Now, the next thing that you need to avoid if you want to be rich is procrastination. You know that thing that you do that causes you to get in the way of your own goals, right? Have you ever heard the saying, procrastination is the thief of time? Well, it's true. The more that you procrastinate, the more time that you spend wasting time that you could have been using to put yourself in a better position. So if you find yourself just sitting around for hours a day just to avoid things that you need to do, then you're missing one thing: structure. And I'll be real with you, that structure that you're missing can be the difference between staying in that exact same position you're in and adding commas to your bank account. So if that sounds like you, then I want you to try this out. Every single night before bed, I want you to create a list of things that you want to do the following day that are not only just day-to-day tasks that you need to accomplish, but also add 1 or 2 things that have to do with your professional growth. Instead of a regular little list, you're actually going to put timestamps of when you want to accomplish these things. Adding timestamps for yourself throughout the list will help you stay on pace with what you need to do throughout the day. And it ultimately creates a structure that helps you stay more efficient with the tasks that you have. Once you continue to keep getting these reps in and you get real consistent in completing your task list on a day-to-day basis, efficiency in your life is going to skyrocket. Where you were once only taking baby steps, you'll now continue to get more done each day and take strides towards reaching your professional and financial goals. And let me know in the comment section if those timestamp lists are something that you already do and how it's helped you so that other people watching this can see how effective those things are. Now, moving right along into the third thing that you want to avoid if you want to be on the road to riches, and that's going to be never learning from your mistakes. Now, do not get me wrong, mistakes happen and they're meant to be made, but they should always be learned from so that you continue to grow. Do not be that person who makes the mistake of making the same mistakes over and over again. This makes me think of a phrase that I actually use a lot, and that's that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again while expecting a different result. To put it simply, you cannot keep spending all of your money and expect to have thousands of dollars saved up. Or you can't keep thinking about running a successful business without taking that first step. The more that you allow yourself to be stuck in that loophole of making the same mistake over and over, the more that you stunt your growth. So make sure that you're reflecting on mistakes and growing as needed to keep working your way up the ladder. I suggest that you do one thing, and this one thing is what has helped me continue to learn from my own mistakes and grow multiple multi-million-dollar brands. I am so serious. I was 24 when I started growing my business. No prior experience or knowledge of how to deal with my 5 employees or growing a small business at all. And you could guess it, this means that I made a lot of mistakes. But learning from them is what has helped me gain over 50 amazing employees and growth across my entire business portfolio. And it's simply about writing it down. Every single day, I write about what has happened and if there was any lesson that was learned that day, plus what I learned from it. I'm telling you, I have like 100 of these things. To Wednesday, to Thursday, every single day I write on this. This has helped me tremendously when it comes to decision making when the same or similar situations come around again. I feel like sometimes we just turn our brains off at the end of the day and pretty much just forget about what has happened that day. But by writing about what has happened that day, along with prompting yourself about any lessons that were learned that day, you're burning information into your head so that the next time one of these situations come up, you are not making that same mistake, but instead making an informed decision based off of lessons that you've already learned. This alone puts you in a position to make progress towards your financial goals. Now, the next thing that you need to avoid if you want to be rich anytime soon is only having your money in a regular savings account. If you're allowing the money to just sit in your bank account, then each and every day you're actually losing money instead of making it, no matter how hard you try to hustle. With inflation rates getting higher and higher, the banks are still only paying certain interest rates, which a lot of the time, those interest rates are lower than the inflation rates, which means that your money is decreasing in value every single day. And by allowing your money to sit in your bank and decrease in value, you're falling right into that system of allowing the rich to get richer and the poor to get poorer. So let's talk quickly about what you can do instead of just letting your money sit and burn. Because the quickest way to grow your wealth is by putting your money to work. So instead of letting your money sit and create you no wealth, you could do the following. Invest in a CD or certificate of deposit account. Invest in real estate. Invest in a retirement account. And invest in stock market investments. Now, the final and most crucial mistake that can keep you poor is by not starting a business. Now, that may shock some of you, but it's absolutely true. I mean, think of it like this. It does not matter how well paying your job is. Every day and every week that you go to work, you are capped at a certain amount of time that you can trade for money. And you will never have enough time to trade to grow wealth with your current position. And look, you need to listen. Corporations will make sure of that. I mean, after all, hiring you was just a play to make them richer. And if you want to get richer, you have to start thinking like the owner and not the worker. When you have a business of your own, there's absolutely no cap to what you can make. And no cap makes growing wealth a hell of a lot easier. So if you're serious about doing that, take a look at what skill or knowledge that you have that can be sold. Something that people see value in and they may want or need on a day-to-day basis. Or maybe you want to have some sort of product to consumer business instead, where you're not necessarily selling your knowledge or skill. This works too, and it's exactly how I started my first successful business. Whichever way suits you is the type of business that you should start. So figure out what that is. Make a business plan and go down to the bank, open up your LLC or sole proprietorship. And I guarantee you, as soon as you open that business, your mindset and your grind is going to change from just being okay with that same paycheck you get every 2 weeks to wanting more and better for yourself and not allowing some company to tell you what your time and energy is worth. And that's all, folks. These 5 things that we covered in today's video are the 5 things that are keeping you shackled to a poor mindset and state of living. Once you find it in you to really work on changing these things, that's going to be the day that you unlock a new potential and a new tax bracket. And these things aren't coming out of thin air. These are the same things that I realized I was doing or I lacked that were keeping me in what felt like an endless cycle of never getting ahead. They're what kept me up in a beat up car at a dead end job that I hated. And once I switched up these couple things, my life was changed forever. So let this be the last motivational or self-help video that you watch and use today to put some of the groundwork down and start to create the life of wealth that you want. I cannot wait for you to see what your life is going to look like in the next 6 months. Keep going. This is AC with Supreme Ecom, and I'm out.
They gon' want a piece when you got it like that. Like Jake said, we gon' spend it, get it